Hey there, I'm Shane, and in this video I'm going to be talking about ways to keep your coffee beans as fresh for as long as possible by using different containers. And there's three options I'm going to discuss: an airtight container, a displacement container, and a vacuum sealing container. The first of which is the easiest and something you probably already have. It can be something like a mason jar or a plastic container like this with a simple lid. The advantage of something like this is that it essentially is airtight and just keeps air from leaking into those beans, which will stale them faster. The main thing that doesn't really make them all that great is because most coffee bags will get the job done just as well and have a one-way valve in the bag to release the gas buildup inside it. So it's realistically just as good of an option. So a container like this does work very well, but the bag isn't going to be a whole heck of a lot worse than this container. So it can sometimes just be a matter of what you like the appearance of better. However, if you do want to keep those beans a little bit fresher, there's an option for an air displacement container. This is the Airscape made by Planetary Design, and I've used it for a really long time and I love it. And it's very simple. It has an airtight lid, but also has a plunger inside it, which essentially just allows you to push all that air out that would have been coming in contact with the beans after you close the lid, which makes a partition, which allows those beans to have a little less space to be in, reduces air exchange, and therefore keeps them fresher for longer. And it's very easy to use. The key disadvantage is it takes a little bit more time to open and close, and there's the additional cost of purchasing a container that is a little bit fancier. However, if you don't think this is enough for what you're doing, there is another option out there, and that is a vacuum sealing container. This is the Atmos made by Flow, and it's a very simple container. It's just a lid that you put on top, but this lid is quite special. It has a mechanical pump inside it that as you twist this lid, it pulls air out from inside this container, and it has a lot of ratcheting to do before you pull that air out. But essentially, all it's doing is reducing how much air is going to be coming in contact with those coffee beans by a significant margin compared to the other options here, which allows those beans to stay fresher for longer because they're not going to oxidize and come in contact with air nearly as quick. So this is great. However, the key disadvantage is it's quite a bit more expensive than the other options, and it's quite a bit more work to open and close because once that lid is ratcheted down, you're not getting it off. So you gotta release the vacuum, open it up, take your beans out, and then you gotta close it back up again and then ratchet it down again. So it's great, I love it, but I reserve this for a little bit more expensive coffee when I buy myself a fancy geisha or something that I'm not gonna use as much, but I still value, such as a nice decaf or a dark roast that is gonna stale a little bit quicker. So these are all fantastic options. I highly recommend checking out a displacement solution because I find that the best for day-to-day use. But if you really want to get the highest performance, a vacuum sealing container might be right for you. If you have a different way of keeping your coffee fresh, I'd love to hear it, such as freezing or putting into smaller containers. I'm looking to explore new options and would love to try something that you're doing. And if you have any questions about anything I talked about in this video, I'd love to answer them. So please leave a comment below. Anyways, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.